All right, good morning. Thanks for being present. So go ahead and come into your comfortable seat if you're not already in it, and arrange yourself so that you not only feel comfortable, but you feel like your spine is nice and upright in a semi-effortless way. And so if you're sitting directly on the floor, sometimes it helps to elevate your seat just a little bit to get that greater sense of, ease of being upright. And so as you land into your seat, allow your eyes to close as you start to drop attention into your body. Noticing any physical sensations, of course, but also any thoughts or emotions that might be present for you today. And then feeling how the breath starts to deepen and slow down to integrate the whole of you. And then we'll bring our palms together in front of the heart. Interlace our fingers, press the palms forward and up toward the ceiling. And just begin to reach up through one hand and up through the other side. Left and right a few times, gently tugging on the fingers. All right, separate your hands. Take them behind the back. Interlace the fingers there. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, open up across the chest, and begin to slowly turn your head from side to side. All right, and then lift the chin up and drop it down. Again, lifting up and dropping. Once more, lifting and dropping. All right, so as you bring your head up to center, release the hands to come down and rest on the floor. And then just walk the right hand out, and as you lean into it, we'll take the left hand to the left shoulder and start a few circles. All right, a few circles the opposite way. All right, and then guide the left arm up and over. Reaching with that left hand, start to squeeze and release the fingers, as well as rotate through the wrist. All right, and with your next in-breath, lift up. And with your out-breath, release your left hand down, walk it out. Leaning into it, we'll take the right hand to the right shoulder and again start with rotation. A few times in one direction. And a few times the opposite way. All right, and then sweep that right arm up and over. Squeeze and release the fingers, as well as rotate through the wrist. All right, then an inhale lifts you up. And with your exhale, release your hand down. All right, now we'll go ahead and shift onto hands and knees. As we come to hands and knees, we'll just start with the hands about shoulder distance apart, knees about hip distance apart. And just start with a few cycles of cat and cow. So each time you inhale, drop the belly, lift your head and tail. Each time you exhale, tuck the tail, round the back, bring the chin toward the chest. And just move a few times at your own speed. And checking in with the spine today. All right, so the next time you come to neutral with your torso, tuck your toes under, lift your knees, send your hips up into the air into downward facing dog. Feel free to shake out your head, bend the knees, straighten one leg, dropping a heel toward the floor, switching back and forth. All right, now as we release down to the knees, we'll take them close together. Lift the left knee up and out to the side. Pause a moment, sensing from your left hip to your left foot, and then just begin to slowly rotate through your hip. A couple of circles in one direction. And a couple circles the opposite way. All right, so with your next inhale, reach your left leg back. Exhale, left knee into the chest. Again, inhale, reach back. Exhale, knee into the chest. And one more inhale back. And exhale, knee into the chest. As you take your left leg back this time, just cross it over the right leg, drop the toes, and curve the spine to the right. So just peeking back at that left foot. All right, as we bring the torso back to neutral, pick the left leg up, step it all the way out to the left side, so directly out from your hip. Walk your hands in, lift up. We'll take our hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, and just kind of notice which thumb is on top. And then we'll scoot the knuckles over towards the left side of the waist. And so as you're basically anchoring your right shoulder down this way, drop your head also to the left. Sensing into the right side of the neck as you take the head slightly forward. And slightly back. Again, just a little bit forward. And back. All right, bring the head back up to center. Release the hands, step the left foot forward into a lunge. And then as you take your right hand down towards the floor, it might be a palm, it might be a fist, it might be a right hand on a block. And then your choice if you want to keep your right knee down on the floor, or if you want to tuck your toes, lift your knee. As we start to twist toward this front left leg. As well, that left hand might stay on the thigh or reach up. Whichever version of the twist that you're in, of this lunging twist, we'll take 3 breaths. And so after your 3rd breath, come back to hands and knees. And then once you get there, drop to your elbows. So your elbows are under your shoulders. Hands come together. Interlace the fingers. Press down into your forearms. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips, drop your head. Coming into dolphin pose. Pressing firmly into your forearms, feel the strength of your shoulders. Now you can experiment with how much you walk your feet in, or whether you're dropping your heels or rising up onto the balls of your feet. Take 3 breaths. All right, so after your 3rd breath, go ahead and release down to your knees. Come back up under your hands. Hands back under shoulders, knees back together. This time lift your right knee up and out to the side. Pause a moment to sense from your right hip all the way to your right foot. And then we'll start to rotate a couple of times in one direction. And a couple of times the opposite way. All right, with your next inhale, right foot reaches back. Exhale, knee into the chest, rounding the back. Again, inhale, reach back. Exhale, knee into the chest. One more inhale back. And exhale, knee into the chest. All right, so as you take your right leg back, this time cross it over the left leg, drop the toes, curve the spine to the left as you peek back at that right foot. Sensing all the way up the right side of the body. All right, and then bring your torso back to neutral. Pick that right leg up, step it all the way out to the side, so directly out from that right hip. Walk the hands in, lifting up. Take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers with the non-habitual thumb on top. So the one where it feels a little bit weird for that thumb to be on top. And then scoot the knuckles over toward the right side of the waist. Drop your head to the right as well so that you can begin to sense into the left side of your neck. Take the head a little bit forward. And back. Again, just a little forward. And back. All right, guide the head back up to center. Release the hands, step the right foot forward into your lunge. Left hand comes to the floor, palm, fist, or hand on a block. Your choice if you want to keep your left knee down or tuck the toes, lift the knee. Right hand to right thigh as you start to twist to the right. Possibly reach the right hand up. Whichever version of the rotating twist that you're in, take 3 big breaths. Or lunging twist. All right, and then after your third breath, release back to hands and knees. Come back down to your elbows. One more dolphin pose. Hands together, interlace the fingers. Press into your forearms. Take your hips up, release your head. All right, we'll take one more deep breath. All right, just begin to walk your feet back. Lift your head to look forward so that you come into a forearm plank. So elbows are still underneath the shoulders. If you need to drop to your knees, go ahead and do so. Finding length from head to knees or head to feet. One more breath in. And then let yourself melt into the floor. Belly releases, toes untuck, arms unfold. And just let your palms come down to rest on the floor as you continue to press down into your forearms, but now lifting the heart and reaching it forward. All right, gently release your heart down to the floor. Slide your left arm out to the side. Now, as we do this, for some of us, it may be plenty comfortable to keep the arms straight, so perpendicular to the torso. You might also find that it feels nice to bend the elbow at 90 degrees. For some, that feels more stable in the shoulder that's being stretched. So your choice if you want to have your left arm bent or straight. And you may need to try both to see what you prefer. And then I'm going to turn my head over to the right, rest the head on the floor. Begin to turn the chest away from the floor. So the front of me is rolling away from the floor. Left arm is out to the side. Now you might come to a place where you stack your right leg on top of your left leg and just use this right hand for support. You might need to keep that right knee down on the floor, not turn quite so far. Or you may wish to step your right foot back to the space behind the left leg, really just depending on how it feels in the left shoulder. So just find some moderate sensation that you can still relax into. And we'll take 5 deep breaths. And so after your 5th breath, slowly roll back to center. Let that left arm slide down alongside the torso. Pause a moment for a full breath. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So now go ahead and take your right arm directly out from the shoulder. Again, the arm might be straight, or you might bend the elbow at 90 degrees. Turn your head over toward the left side. Let your head rest on the floor. And then with your left hand, just start to push down as you turn your chest and really the front of your body away from the floor. So you're creating that stretch in the right shoulder and inner arm. And then again, if this is too much to stack the legs where your left leg is on top, you might want to just keep that left knee down on the floor for a little extra support. And then you're not turning quite so much of your chest away from the floor. If both of those feel very mild and it's comfortable to step your left foot back, you could also do that. But just find some moderate sensation that feels safe to relax into, not super duper intense. And again, we'll take 5 deep breaths. And so at the end of your 5th breath, go ahead and roll back onto your front. And take that right arm down alongside the torso to pause for a deep breath. All right, now we'll take both arms alongside the torso. And then with your next in-breath, lift your head and chest, your feet, your hands. Squeeze the shoulder blades together if it's comfortable in this position to interlace your fingers and reach back through the knuckles. You can do that if you wish. It's also fine just to use the muscles between your shoulder blades to kind of draw them toward each other. And 3 deep breaths. All right, after your 3rd breath, slowly release your feet. Go ahead and release your chest and head. And then just bend the knees, gently sway the feet side to side a few times. All right, and then release your feet to the floor. Press back up onto hands and knees. All right, so we'll do this one more thing here from hands and knees. So hands shoulder distance, knees hip distance. And then we'll take the left leg back in space and just lift your leg about the same height as your torso. Imagine that there's something sitting on the back of your left leg that you're pushing up against. So you really want to feel the back side of the left leg engaged here. All right, so with that, then take your right arm forward. Now take the right hand out to the side. Right hand to low back. Maybe walk it up a little higher if it's able. And then back out to the side with that right hand. And forward. And then repeat that. Take the right hand out to the side. And then low back or a little higher. Keep the left leg strong. Right arm back out to the side. And forward. And then down to the floor. Now we'll switch legs. So left knee down, right leg back. Again, energize that right leg. Imagine you're pushing up against whatever's sitting on the back of your leg. Then left arm forward. And out to the side. Left hand to low back, or as high as it's able to go based on shoulder mobility. And then left hand back out to the side. And forward. And then repeat, back out to the side. And low back. Ish. And back out to the side. And forward. And then release the left hand. Release your right knee. All right, we'll come back into seated for our last few minutes here for pranayama. Once again, finding your comfy seat. We'll do just about a minute and a half of Kapalabhati, skull shining breath. Remember, that's the exhale blowing out your nose like you're blowing your nose. Abdominals contract. And then as you release that contraction, the breath just comes right back in without you even having to control the inhale portion of the breath. So as always, you can go at a speed that feels right for your body. If this is something you do all the time, maybe you start to progress the speed and go a little faster. If you always go fast, maybe you want to go slow today. So just allow yourself whatever speed arises, and we'll do just about a minute and a half. So as you once again come into your comfy seat, where your spine is nice and upright and lifted, take your attention to your belly, and let's begin. And so as you release control of the breath, feel the body coming back into the regulation of the flow of breath, feeling the breath flow without restriction. All right, and so we'll also practice alternate nostril breathing. So as we typically do, take the peace fingers in toward your palm and use your thumb and your ring finger to block your nostrils. So right thumb, right nostril, and then inhale through the left side. Close it off, exhale right side. And then inhale right side. Close it off, exhale left side. Inhale left side. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. And now just keep going at your own speed. So the next time that you exhale out your left nostril, just go ahead and release your hand down. And again, find that uncontrolled, easy pace and volume of your breath. Now we'll join our palms together in front of the heart. As we bow to the light within ourselves, we also bow to the light within each other. Namaste.